Hello everyone, welcome back to the Beginner's Guide to ADC. This is Slash. Now, Slash is a little bit different from Conquest in one very important way, and that primarily is in the change in your objectives. You see, in Conquest, your primary objectives are to eliminate enemy structures, the towers and the phoenixes, and also to eliminate the enemy's tanks. That is your job. Those are your two jobs. In Slash, it's a little bit different. Because of the Slash Juggernaut's existence, and their ability to take out towers pretty well unsupervised as long as the enemy isn't attacking them, you don't actually need to necessarily target and eliminate enemy towers. The Juggernauts will do that for you. Instead, your primary goal switches to kill the enemy Juggernauts. The ADC is all about high single target damage. That is their goal. Typically at range, by the way. Ranged, high single target damage. Therefore, out of all 5 classes, it is the Hunter that does the best job of eliminating enemy Juggernauts safely from a distance. It's not too different from eliminating towers, it's just that your target is mobile. Now, this does change up the emphasis of your build, whereas in Conquest and other modes, you can either go with Executioner to really focus on the tanks, or build Penetration, really get rid of the structures, because structures aren't affected by Executioner, so you need Penetration. Juggernauts don't really care. It doesn't really make a huge difference, because crits are really where you go for this, right? When you're playing ADC in Conquest, you go for Penetration to help with the towers, and whether or not you go a full pen build or a crit build really depends on your personal preference, but in Slash, you generally are going to want to go for a crit build. There's actually a secondary reason why crits are stronger in Slash besides killing the Juggernauts faster, because again, you can crit Juggernauts. It also helps increase the amount of healing you're getting from your lifesteal, and with the intensity of teamfights in Slash, and especially how quickly Slash teamfights begin, that's actually very important. So, your early game is going to be pretty rough, because, of course, you're not going to have the, everything you want. We're going to go for Gilded Arrow right off the top, so we can grab Ornate Arrow. Now, at this point, you've got a couple of options for your opening move. You can go Atalanta's Bow, which gives you some lifesteal, some crit. You can go with Aussie for some flat pen, some power, some lifesteal, and some attack speed. Or you can go with, and this is my least favorite, Bloodforge, which gives you a lot of power and a small, a decent amount of lifesteal and some movement speed. Now, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Bloodforge as an opening move. That's just a personal preference, keep in mind. Just because I find it very risky to do so. And I just really like the flat pen and the physical lifesteal involved with Aussie. Okay, great. Let's pause this. Just pause the match. Come on, people. Somebody hit F10. Nope. They didn't follow through. We could have taken that. We could have taken that Guan Yu. It was a Guan Yu kill. We really should be pausing this. We really should. Why are we not pausing this, actually, would be the better question. I mean, we did pick up somebody, so that's good. Is that... That's hell. That's not Guan Yu. Alright. Okay, good damage. Excellent. Just pause the game. Please. Holy cow, this is weird. Why are people so averse to pausing the game if somebody leaves? It's not that long of a delay. I don't understand. But okay. I guess we're not pausing the game. Which is a little weird to me, but sure. Alright. So right now we're primarily farming. When you're playing ADC in Slash, you really want to farm pretty cautiously. Again, those early game team fights can be really intense. And there we go. Now, in that particular moment, the enemy really went hard on the Mulan, so they used most of their abilities. That was pretty safe to go in there. You'll also notice that first match where I tried to get Guan Yu, you'll also notice I almost died for that. Yeah, I took a big risk doing that. Okay, here we go. I just took a big risk there, too. I almost killed him, but it was a risk. I'm just going to come over here and farm. Here's Guan Yu. I really don't actually want to rush at Guan Yu without my dash up, because he probably could kill me if he does not have blue stun. Oh, fair enough. I was a little paranoid for no reason, but that's fine. Better to be paranoid than not. Now, I don't have any mana, which is a bit of a problem, actually. I mean, between the two of us, Milan, I'm hitting a little harder. This smells like possibilities here. Yeah, I was right. Again, I almost died there.
That is too bad.
Now, I'm trying to decide whether or not I should even bother trying to go under the tower here. Well, he's over there, so I guess it's fine. I'm pretty sure Mulan's dead. I'm not even gonna bother trying to go in there to save her. There's no way. Yeah. That was just a lost cause right there. She was doomed the instant, like, 3 people went on her. Alright, now we're just gonna chill here. We're gonna relax. We're gonna just farm safely. Ignore my ability increases. This is very specific to Sheep Blanque. I'm not really going to talk about Sheep Blanque individually here. That's not the point. The point is just hunters in general. I really, honestly, didn't need that damage, but let's, oh, is there? Alright. Yeah, they're all coming over. I should probably be leaving. I really don't need to be here. You dirtbag. Now, the reason I didn't go in on that Guan Yu is because I wasn't 100% sure I'd be able to kill him. Why is this Naja insistent on trying to prevent me from going back? He's not going to make that one. Now we're going to get Aussie, and then we're going to start working on Atlantis Bow to get some nice, quick, early crits. We're going to save up our cash. And a little bit more lifesteal as well. That's pretty important. Hey, there we go. I still think we should have paused that, though. That's an ugly situation right here. Let me just absolutely slap people. The true secret power of Sheep Blanque. There we go. Okay, they've taken the Juggernaut on the right side. I'm gonna need to go over there and stop that, honestly. No, we don't need help there. We need to stop this Juggernaut. What do you mean, help? Oh, shoot. That was a good catch. She wasn't even, like, intentionally going for me or anything. That just was really good timing on her part. I'm gonna die. Okay, that was very close, and he barely saved my life. That was really good, though. That was really good. We stopped the Juggernaut before it could take the tower. It did some damage, yeah, but I'm not too overly concerned about that. We're actually going to upgrade my beads here. Considering Naja, it's probably a good idea to have elevated beads. Let me see. We just pushed down that wave there. That's fine. I'll go ahead and grab... I don't have the ability to grab this because I have the blue buff. Besides, the Merlin, I think, is trying to farm up there. So she's pretty deep there. I'm not going to go for that. That Atlas would probably lock me down and kill me using the tower, and I really don't want that in my life. Alright. I was wondering if the Naja was going to go on Oposh, but he apparently decided not to. They're all in left over here. That's fine. We're just going to go ahead and play this nice and safe. Going to play this slow and steady. We are perfectly alright. Alright. Damage buff. I think we have an opportunity here. The Guan Yu went in a totally different direction than I was expecting. I might have goofed that. I can't tell yet. Shoot. Get out, get out, get out. Ooh, let's not go that way, though. Hello, how are we doing? I don't have that option, honestly. I was doomed. There was no way I was getting out of that alive. Let's upgrade my Atlantis bow first, then we'll grab Aegis. I really wanted the Medusa for no earthly reason. Although the fact that she's building Transcendence is an Avengers level threat. This is why, see, Merlin is stating exactly why we should have just straight up paused the game. Even if they didn't come back, even if they didn't come back in that pause time, at least they wouldn't have been quite as far behind. If somebody's missing from your match and you're pretty confident they're coming back, just pause the game. That's what it's there for. It's there for a reason. Alright. That's something we're going to want, but we want to take this out first. Okay, we're going to attack left lane. That's interesting. She's going for that. Nope, you don't get this today. Get out of here with that nonsense. That should not have actually petrified me, but alright. Excuse me? Can we not? Holy cow. Oh, that ring came out of abs. That was a wicked long distance for that to be flying at me, but alright. Alright, now I'm going to want to go for the Envenom Deathbringer. That's going to get me more crit chances. It's going to get me stronger crits. That'll help me heal. I don't quite need penetration yet, although it is definitely becoming apparent that I will need it soon, so I'll probably go for Dominance afterwards. Dominance more specifically so I can build Wind Demon. Nope. I'm going to go with Executioner. There's a couple of reasons why. I don't want Wind Demon in this case. I want the Poison Star. I'm sorry, it's the Shadow Steel Shuriken, because I want to reduce their healing. They have Guan Yu, they have Hell, Naja self-heals, and Medusa, it doesn't look like she's self-healing at all, so... But they still have Hell, and they still have Guan Yu, so it's still going to be worth it to get the Shadow Steel Shuriken. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not too concerned about these two. I don't think they can take me. They can with Medusa. Never mind. Medusa makes all things possible. Alright, now we're going to take out this Juggernaut as quickly as possible here. Going to go ahead and do some poking with Branching Bolas. Notice the crits there. Pretty important. Can we do something about Hell? Apparently no. Okay. Let's do this. We loop around and get this slapped. Okay, that's her dead, but I'm gonna probably die right afterwards. Yeah. I'm not too surprised by this development. Okay. So far we're doing well. We could be doing better. We could be doing worse. We've got a positive KDA at this point in time. So that's something. But that's okay. Really the problem is Merlin is so far behind. They're a couple of levels down. They're 2 to 3 levels down, approximately. Again, we should have paused the game. That's just going to be a sticking point for me. It just doesn't make sense to not pause the game. There's no logical good reason to not pause the game. Now, he's going to sacrifice himself so he can take the... Except he didn't because I was body blocked by Mulan, but that's not her fault. That's my bad pathing. Honestly, that is 100% not her fault. Okay, there's Atlas. We can probably get a gank over here because this isn't way too aggressive hell. Actually, this hell in general has been excessively aggressive for quite some time now. And I'm pretty sure Atlas is going to come flying in. We all backed off for some unholy reason. Alright, she bailed. Actually, considering I want... There we go. There's Naja. Alright. That's fine. They're a little closer than I was anticipating, to be completely honest. Alright. It would have been nice if she'd been able to hit something with that. I think he used that a hair too early. Okay. Please send help. Thank you. Okay, at least Merlin picked up Medusa, which you'll notice gave him quite a level bonus there. We have Envenom Deathbringer, which is pretty important. We are now going to go for Shadow Steel Shuriken. We overall, we lost that fight on a technical level, but not by much. So I'm okay with that fight. That was an alright fight overall. They'll be able to defend that just fine. I'm going to go ahead and get this. I believe Medusa built... Yeah, she built Aussie. I thought I saw that aura around her, but I wasn't 100% sure if that was just me hallucinating or what. But yeah, she has Aussie, which is why she survived my onslaught and why Merlin had to pick her up. Alright. You'll notice we're starting to really slap here. I don't really need the mana as much. Okay. Now that's our Juggernaut pushing up over there. The enemy team will probably be paying attention to that. I say that, and here comes Naja. Okay. Do we want to, I don't know, stop that? Would be cool. Why are we not grouped up and left? This is going to get very ugly very quickly, I think. Because for some bizarre reason... Yeah, no kidding, enemies are coming right. They're going to try to take the tower. Alright. Bust this out so we can confuse the enemy a little bit. I'm actually going to stop and take care of this really quick. Mulan's really slapping people down over there, so she really doesn't need my help right this very second. There we go. And now we're going to come flying in. Looks like Chalk has Naja on lock there. Alright. That's fine. Good idea. That's good.
I told a joke once.
Ooh, that was close. Okay, that's not as close as I'd like it to be, thank you. Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah! There are a lot of enemies right there, isn't there? Ah, shoot. I almost took her. I mean, Merlin still picked her up, so that's fine. We got the tower, so we're even on... Well, no, they still had their left tower. Their left tier 1. How much does it cost? 1,000? Yeah. I thought it was 900 for a second there. Bold move by the Merlin, although the Merlin's really caught up in levels. So that's really good to see. Alright, that's fine. That was a good pickup. That actually caused the fight to break even. So that's good. It looks like our wave is pushing up left, which is also good. Looks like Chalk is... Yeah, he's got to keep an eye on that. Naja. Alright, we're going to come flying in. I'm just looking at the enemies here. Medusa's doing really badly. Medusa's really badly because Transcendence took too long to stack up, so her early game is trash in the first place. It's unfortunate that they stole that. Very regrettable. Probably should have built Executioner before I built my anti-heal. In all honesty. No, actually, in retrospect, probably the anti-heal is a better idea. We should probably defend right lane. I'm gonna go back, though, and finish my Shadow Steel first. Yeah, one of our problems is we are not grouping up like they are. Although, to be fair, Naja is doing the same thing Chalk is, but Naja isn't as integral to their front line as Chalk is to ours. Thank you. That's all we ask. Okay. They killed our momentum really quickly. They did the Atlas and the Guan Yu did a really nice job killing our momentum there. I'm surprised Merlin was hit by that. He probably should not have been, since I wasn't. Alright. Shoot. Oh. I did some good damage to Guan Yu, but I'm not sure it matters. I really need Executioner so I can actually kill these guys. No, we all died. Okay. So at this particular point, where are we going to go with this? Are they going to keep pressing up? They are going to keep pressing up. Alright. Wulan is back up. She should be able to defend. Does she have anti-heal? She does not yet have anti-heal. That could be a problem. She's doing a really good job defending it, though. Even without anti-heal. That's the right-hand side. Alright, I don't think we can actually attack left lane at this point. I need to go over here to the right and stop these juggernauts.
Cancel that. Completed.
Alright. That's one juggernaut down.
Enemies incoming.
See that nice damage output there? There we go. Okay, we're gonna go over to the other side here and get rid of this other... Why is he attacking me? We have to ask ourselves these questions. Alright. Trying to heal off of this, thank you. I don't think that's a good idea. We don't need to surrender this. They can't take me. They don't have enough health for that. Okay, at the very least, I took Naja with me, which is something. I would have liked to have taken Medusa as well, but that's alright. Now, once we hit Ornate Arrow, we're going to be really slapping with the crits, so we're really going to be looking for that at this point. We're almost breaking even. We're doing alright. We're doing alright. They can't take Apophis now. Mulan with the bold move. She really needs anti-heal. But she isn't looking to build that. Okay, they took Medusa, which is pretty big. It looks like they're going to take Guan Yu. No, they're not, because they don't have ults up at this time. Shock is probably going to die there. Guan Yu really turned that around. Alright. What I'm actually going to do, though, is take the Juggernaut really quick.
Attack right leg.
Oh, did not want to do that.
I'll attack right leg.
Oh well. My ult is pretty useless overall anyways.
Enemies incoming right.
I actually welcome the fight here. I don't welcome the fight with Guan Yu. I don't have my... Well, I guess I have my Executioner. I don't have my beads, though, which is a bit of a problem. My current major problem, by the way. Alright, that's Medusa's ult gone. Yeah, I wasn't too concerned about Hell, to be honest. At this point, only really concerned about Medusa here. Oh, the fact that she whiffed half of that just absolutely killed her right there. That was 100% fatal. I'm actually going to back off. I don't have the ability to take this. I do not have the ability to take them on. Not with this little mana. I need more mana for this. So if I need to escape, I can. I'll just clear these for the gold. So I can grab my ornate arrow. And upgrade the last of my relics. And now I'm all set. At this point, I'm just going to be shoring up gold so I can boost my ornate arrow. I need 2,000 gold to hit it, to get it to hit max stacks. Can we take Apophis? Possibly. Possibly. I would like to try. I have my ult if we really need to. There we go. Now, at this point, I might possibly sell Aussie in favor of Bloodforge. Get the increased 50 power. We actually don't necessarily need to. I'll use this. Now look how much damage I'm doing to these tanks. And especially with the huge buff and damage from the use of the... whatever. Ah, shoot. I was way too aggressive on that, but I mean, we got all the kills we needed. Alright, good. So we have an even split here. That was good. That was excellent. Now they just need to get out. They should be able to without too much problem. They can push up the wave and theoretically start taking that tower. The fact that we have a Juggernaut in left lane is pretty useful. That's excellent. We're going to do something a little bit bold. We're going to go ahead and buy a potion of power. That's going to be a nice 40 extra power here. Which is going to serve us a little bit more than the attack, speed, and crit chance boost of 5. I think it's 5%, right? 1.5, so it's going to be 5.25 and a 5% crit chance. Yeah, overall it's worth the trade. As long as they're keeping them busy in right lane, I should be able to work with the Juggernaut in left lane to really quickly take this tower without any kind of problem here. This should not be difficult. Yeah. That's fine. I just need to know where the enemies are. I'm attacking left lane. Don't worry about that. I just kind of want to know where everyone else is on their team. Would be kind of nice. I have my beads up, so I'm not quite as concerned as I normally would be here. Alright, I don't really know what's going on here with Mulan, but we're just going to go ahead and take this opportunity to take that. And then we're going to get out of dodge, and then we're going to throw this out. And hopefully slap down Guan Yu before he kills me. Okay, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That is, you know, again, part of my job is to take out the enemy front line, and I am now proving that I have the capacity to do that at this juncture. There we go. This is exactly what we want to be seeing as an ADC. We have hit the point at which we need to be at. He gave me a heart attack. I thought there was someone behind us who was just healing himself. Good play. Oh, whoa, that was a good play by the Naja. Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, we actually have over 2,000 gold, so we can actually buy our Potion of Power and not lose any of our stacks, which is pretty huge. I could save up for the Elixir of Power, so we're actually going to wait on that, which would, again, do us more good than the 2,000 gold would. What they need to do is retreat. Yeah, we need to be falling back. We really don't need to be staying there at that time. Now, it looks like I'll definitely be able to buy the Elixir of Power, which is exactly what I'm going to do. This is not a problem because I can clear out the jungle here. It took them too long to back Mulan and Apwash. This might be the point at which we lose if we don't play this correctly. That might have been fatal. I'm not sure. That remains to be seen. Yeah, hold on. I was hoping for some fat loots, but that is clearly not going to happen. I'm just going to go back the old-fashioned way because they're just going to run right down that Phoenix. Yeah, I slap. I gotta watch out for this Naja. He's gonna be coming after me, and I've got 20 seconds on my beads here, and that's exactly what he's looking for. He needed to hit that. Okay, my beads are up, which is huge, actually.
Attack the Titan!
Now! Oh. 3 of them were too much. That was my fault for being that aggressive. That was entirely my fault for going solo like that. I should not have been there by myself. That was just a mistake. They were able to capitalize on it. I mean, they made it a trade, which is good. But that was a stupid mistake on my part. One thing I keep forgetting in this season is that hunters are a little bit easier to kill than I'm used to. Where even tanks, if they're built properly, can do a decent job killing a hunter if they're, again, built properly. Or if the hunter makes a mistake like I just did there, going 1v3, even with them all damaged as much as they were, it still was not enough damage to justify my decision there. Now, at this point, my concern is that Juggernaut. And the reason why is because if we lose the next fight, we might be able to respawn in time. Unless they have a Juggernaut. That guarantees that we won't have the time we need to respawn, especially since we have fire minions charging down left lane. So as long as we can keep their attention elsewhere, we actually stand a really good chance. Okay, we've already got rid of that, so that's fine.
Enemy missing left. Be careful.
Yeah. Trying to figure out what my in here is. Okay, that's fine as long as you can take out somebody or get me an opportunity. I'm trying not to get singled out by Atlas, which is what he's looking for at the moment. That hits me. Alright. I'm dead. Just straight up dead. Yeah, the Najad would naturally go for me because I am the hunter. That's a smart move on his part, honestly. That is the correct thing for him to be doing there. Did my death just end? No, we've still got Apwash. I don't know if Chalk has the capacity. Yes, Chalk does have that capacity. Okay, I'm kind of surprised. Can Chalk take out? Yes, he can. Is that a crit shot? It is. Okay, I've been misunderstanding something this whole match. I thought Chalk was a tank. He's not tank. He might actually be able to do this, honestly. Because they still have to punch through our Phoenix. I'm about to come back up. I'll just defend. Whatever, you know? Alright. Heal up off these minions. Now, can I take her out? Theoretically, yes. Because I have my ult in 7. We're gonna get ganked. This is not gonna work. We're gonna get attacked from behind by the other two. Yeah, they're coming in. I have my bead, so Naja won't kill me as easily next time. That's gonna be pretty big.
The Titan!
I think that's a bold move, but okay, Chief. No, let's not. Okay, they gotta have wards down. They definitely have wards down. That's her meteor down, though, so that's pretty good. Can I just slip in here and... yeah. There's a Posh. We do not have our full team here. We need Chalk. We would need Chalk. We should really wait for Chalk. Great, thanks.
Cancel that! Move up!
Yeah, we really should be 5 on 5.
I'm on it.
Okay. Time to go. I almost died for that. Alright. Okay. And now this is where I die. Yep. We did not have the time for that, Chalk, my guy. We just did not have the time. And he's still going for it. How many siege juggernauts do we have? Interestingly, they choose to attack left Phoenix, which I think was a mistake because Mulan's going to come up in 10 now. And it looks like they're probably going to take out... yeah, it's pretty likely they're going to take Guan Yu. Yep. And then that's their whole team gone. Yeah, that was a mistake. They should have just charged down right lane. They would have had a decent shot at something. Chaka's upset about somebody pinging him. That famous quote. Alright, I'm assuming they're going to handle that in right lane. It doesn't seem like there's a problem there.
I'll attack the fire giant.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to help with that. Alright. Excellent. And that looks like another fire giant right there. I don't have my beads, so I'm kind of concerned here. I'm going to see if I can distract them. That hits me? Alright. That's me dead. That is not me dead. That is me somehow alive. I'm actually going to go back and teleport to the Juggernaut. Nope. Come on. Let's see how far I get. Oh, I went all the way. Oh, we have almost a full Juggernaut here. Alright, that's a different story altogether. Hello? Really? I teleport to the Juggernaut, minding my own business, and still get slapped by Boyo over here? Holy cow, I'm getting absolutely slapped here. The problem is that we don't have enough of a front line to keep me alive, and I keep forgetting that, because Chalk is actually building damage. Now, the Chalk isn't playing badly, mind you. Don't mistake that for necessarily saying the Chalk is playing badly, but I'm not adjusting my playstyle for the lack of frontline we really have for what I believe. I see Chalk and I'm automatically thinking, hey, there's my frontline. He's not really frontline in the classic sense. He's not tanky. This being the problem. At least we'll be back up in time to defend. You mean a 5v5 game? Imagine if we paused. Nah, I'm not even gonna bother with that because we're not. The Merlin's caught up. We're not. No one in particular is doing particularly badly. Yeah, Mulan's doing not great, but could be worse. I mean, honestly. I'm going to stick with Chalk. Still not frontline in the true sense of the word, but... Alright, that was fast clear, but I'm not surprised they had Helen. No, I'm sorry, Naja and Medusa there. We just need to take out that Juggernaut. That's fine. That's okay. I got this. Nice quick clear there. Now the reason why, you'll notice that Opwash absolutely slapped that, why aren't mages technically in charge of that? Primarily because that leaves the mages very vulnerable when they do that. If an enemy had popped up at that time, that would have probably meant instant death for Opwash. Just due to a complete inability to offer any kind of counter to that. Yeah, except I crit, and when I crit you get anti-healed, so... Can we kill her? Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's a 4v5 now, so we actually really want to attack at this point. Big one, you. Whoop. Hello? Okay. Yeah, Naja's in there. Which makes us... Okay. Okay. No, we don't want to surrender this. No, I could not do enough damage. Again, that was a 3v1 situation there. Merlin will be back up in time, so I'm not too concerned about this. This is one of the more intense slashes, but it is really interestingly demonstrative of the problem, really, with Classic Hunters. Now, I intend on doing a follow-up episode to this, where I will be discussing magic ADCs, which is a completely different story to this. Yeah, as long as he can keep the Medusa off. There we go. Yep, that's exactly what we're talking about. The right Phoenix is back up. That was, yes. That was good job. That was, the Merlin chose the correct target, which was the Medusa in that context. And that was exactly what we needed. Now what I'm going to go do is take the... the Juggernaut. Now also, I'd like to point out that I mentioned that the Opwash would have been in danger if an enemy had teleported to the Juggernaut, and that's why mages aren't typically used for eliminating the enemy Juggernauts. Merlin doesn't have that issue because Merlin has so many abilities at his disposal. There are a couple of other mages that can do this, Hell for instance. And again, like I pointed out earlier, magic ADCs are relatively good at this as well. But you'll notice how much damage I can do in a very short amount of time with just auto attacks, no mana used, nothing like that. Very safe. And that's why hunters are typically used for that. It's the same kind of principle with taking out the tanks. Mages do a lot of damage, sure, and they can also do a lot of damage to tanks, yes. This is all 100% true. However, the actual fact of the case is that... Okay, that was good enough. The actual fact of the matter is that even though, yes, mages can do a lot of damage to tanks, typically once they do so, they really have no other options available, which tends to be fatal. Goodbye. He is going for me? Alright, we're going to go ahead and go to the right lane. Not only are most of my allies here, but I've got a Juggernaut I can kill here as well and heal off of, which is beautiful. No, please. No, I need... I wanted to heal off of that. I'm not going to have a good time this fight. Can I... Just for a second. I'm dead. Yeah. They'll pick him up afterwards, but still. Oh. Now, also keep in mind I'm playing Sheep Blanque, who isn't exactly in the best place right now. There are better hunters to be playing with this. Medusa is actually a good hunter for this because if enemies do show up through the Titan, she can ult them, which is really nice. It's at this point that there's some technicalities on hunters here that I'll be discussing after this match whenever it ends. This is easily the longest Slash match I've ever played in my life. But it's definitely interesting. I was going to say, he can defend that. This is exactly the ideal scenario for him. I'm trying to just... There we go. Do that. That's all I need. I need, like, 2 auto attacks to pop off with. Of course, again, if I'd been able to heal off the speed buff, that would have put me in full health, and I probably would have survived Naja, to be completely honest. I don't have my beads, so I'm not going to do that, thank you. I wish people would quit killing my healing. Can we please target Naja for this? There's somebody in the jungle. I know this. There is Atlas. Alright. Are we grouped up? Do we have everyone here? There's Chalk. Yeah, okay. We're all grouped up. Ouch. I didn't need that in my life. Okay. I'm trying. I'm honestly trying. Oh. We're gonna go around this way. That's what I want to see. I'm attacking, honestly. This is it. This is where we win. I got the opportunities I needed. There we go. Holy cow. Alright. Now, besides my terrible gameplay as an ADC at the end game there, because I don't consistently play ADC, a lot of what... You can see the advantages to having the hunter target the Juggernaut. Now, I am going to take a few minutes here to detail some ideal ADCs for this, including magic ADCs. I am going to be talking about magic ADCs in the next episode, but I do want to talk a bit. So anyways, back to the main point. The reason why ADCs, or hunters specifically, are used to target the Juggernaut is because if you're a mage and you blow your kit on the Juggernaut, you have no response if enemies teleport through to it. Hunters still do. Their strength is in their auto attacks, so they really don't care. Now, why aren't assassins used for eliminating Juggernauts? Simply because they're melee. If an enemy teleports to the Juggernaut, that puts them at risk, especially if the first person to teleport through a Juggernaut is the enemy frontline. They can lock down the assassin while the rest of their team teleports in to finish them off. I've seen it happen. Not to me personally, but I've seen it happen to allies that have tried this. So, the safest response to any Juggernaut is to throw your ADC or your Hunter at it. Again, magic ADCs are a little bit better at this because they actually have a better group response in a lot of situations, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But those are the primary reasons why the Hunter is the one that is typically used to eliminate enemy Juggernauts, right? So, with that being said, let's take a look at a comparison of how I played versus the Medusa. Now, keep in mind the Medusa is a little bit better at Slash because... just because of her ult. My ult, while it can help me get away, and there are times where it's very useful even in a Slash map, that last fight there was a really actually great example of how I was able to use that to get some nice range and start to do some pretty serious damage from a longer amount of distance. Actually, the Oposh's ult combined with the amount of damage I was dealing at long distance was the reason why we killed 3 of them in the first couple of seconds. I was doing the damage, he was cleaning them up and preventing them from healing. It was fantastic. So that was a really great combination move there. We didn't plan it, obviously. That was completely accidental, but it worked out really well. But, you know, I really went with the early game here. Now, you'll notice Medusa went for the late game here. She went with Transcendence, and you'll notice early game she had a really rough time. She was dying a lot. I believe she was 0-4 at the beginning. This is why Transcendence is really tough to pull off very successfully in the early game. For Slash, it's just a really unfortunate time. Once you get it evolved, and you're in that late game, that's a different story, but it can be pretty tough to swing. You'll also notice she didn't really build crit. That was mostly actually the Naja, who clearly was the one that they were leaning towards on getting the Juggernauts. Because you'll notice if you watch the game, most of the time, if we had a Juggernaut pushing down a lane, Naja was the one that was there. Right? If you go back and watch, usually it was Naja who was responding to that. That is because Naja has crits, he had Malicious Deathbringer, he has the passive 15% crit buff that he has. It's a magical time. But even so, you'll also notice that there were a bunch of times where, you know, we were really able to push down a Juggernaut into their Phoenix, even with all 5 of them there, and then we, with one exception, which was when we were all dead, they only got a Juggernaut to our Phoenix once. Notice the amount of times we got a Juggernaut to their Phoenix, and the number of times they got a Juggernaut to our Phoenix. It's a lot different, and that's because they really didn't have the person there with the crits. Medusa really was having a hard time killing the Juggernaut because she didn't have the crits. That doesn't make her build necessarily wrong. The reason why she was doing so well in the mid-game is because her build was really designed to kill individual enemies. Mine was a bit more geared towards eliminating Juggernauts, and although I could take on a tank in a 1v1 situation, obviously a 2v1 situation is difficult, and I kept going in solo against 3 enemies, even though they were weakened. I wasn't able to pick them up because I don't have the crowd control for that, as Sheep-Blanque, as a typical hunter. That was just bad decision-making on my part. That is no one's fault but my own. But Medusa didn't have the capacity to take the Juggernauts because she sacrificed that for her ability to eliminate tankier targets, and you'll see that statistically, overall, she really didn't do that much better. She had 3 more kills and 4 more deaths and 3 less assists. So we did roughly the same in terms of ratio. I probably, ratio-wise, did slightly better, but not by that much. But yeah, that's really what's going on there. That is why they had such a hard time eliminating the Juggernauts. That's why we were able to push so many Juggernauts as far up as we did. That's why they really had a hard time, is because I was there to deal with the Juggernauts and not be at risk. Again, you can eliminate Juggernauts very effectively with mages, but most mages have risk here. Now, what are some hunters that are really good, and what are some mages that are really good at clearing Juggernauts and fulfilling this purpose? Well, let's talk hunters first. Now, obviously, Sheep-Blanque is just the one, you know, I've just been in a Sheep-Blanque mood, one of those silly moods. So I've been playing him, but other really fantastic hunters for this are actually Hachiman, whose ult can either be used to hit a large group of enemies that maybe teleport in, or alternatively to get away. Same thing with Danzaburou and his rocket. Cupid actually is great, surprisingly, at this, because he can not only eliminate Juggernauts with his auto attacks, but if enemies are teleporting to the Juggernaut, he can ult around the Juggernaut and provide a huge amount of opportunities there, right? Other notable points are Artemis, who has a really excellent ult for this as well. The first enemy gets stunned by Bacon, and then as enemies teleport in, they get automatically stunned by the Bacon. So that is another excellent hunter to use this with, right? Those are the... and Hou-Yi, of course, with his AoE ult. Pretty similar situation, actually, to Artemis or Cupid, where he just slaps an ult down, it sticks around for a little while. Medusa, again, as I'm going to point out, if a bunch of enemies teleport in, she can ult them all in a group, and that's very effective. Those are the primary hunters that are really good at eliminating Juggernauts. Izanami to some extent, because not only can she damage the Juggernaut, but anybody hiding behind it, so basically she gets free hits on whoever teleports the Juggernaut, because when you land from a Juggernaut, you are almost always exactly behind the Juggernaut. So she gets free hits off on you right there. She can also hit enemy minions behind the Juggernaut or in front of the Juggernaut that would typically be body blocking it. It doesn't matter. She can kill that Juggernaut regardless of who's near it. So that's also very helpful. Her ult isn't quite as useful in counteracting enemies, but nevertheless, she is very good at eliminating Juggernauts. Scotty actually the same. She can send Collar after the Juggernaut, thereby giving you 2 sources of damage, and she can put the ice down behind the Juggernaut to prevent enemies, once they teleport in, from actually aggressing onto her, because they'll be sliding around helplessly. These are the primary hunters that I would say, and Tribdis as well, actually, technically as well, her ult is pretty good at attacking enemies that teleport into the Juggernaut, especially if the first couple of enemies that come through the Juggernaut, that teleport to the Juggernaut, are squishier targets. Now, obviously, I haven't played her, but I've got friends who do play her, and they have pulled this off. twice. Not necessarily, you know, chaining on or whatever, but they've been able to pick up, you know, do a lot of damage to enemies teleporting to the Juggernaut, using their ult and then just cleaning them up afterwards. These are the hunters that I would really strongly recommend for this particular job. These are the best hunters to deal with Juggernauts with. As for mages, when you're looking at mages to deal with Juggernauts, you really want mages that aren't going to be too concerned if they use their whole kit. Zonkui can be built auto-attacking, and his ult really is an excellent response to a group of enemies teleporting in on the Juggernaut. Zeus can be built auto-attack as well, or ability-based, or a hybrid of both. He's got his ult, he's got his shield, and he's got his chain lightning as excellent responses to that. Olrun with his ult and his strong auto-attacks is also really good at this. Let me see. Soul as well, auto-attack primarily, but she's got her excellent ult that she can use to slap down. Again, it's sort of not quite as good compared to some of the other mentions that some of the other mages I mentioned here. Kind of like Izanami, where it's good, but it's not ideal like some of the other ones. Let me see. Hel and Merlin I already mentioned because they were in that last match. Beyond that, those would be the primary mages. Now, Freya is an auto-attacking mage, yes, but her responses to enemies teleporting to the Juggernaut are about as effective as, say, Neith's. You know, Neith hits one target. Freya could hit multiple targets with her ult, but it's very slow. It's only 4 shots, and her auto-attacks are typically better anyways. You usually use Freya's ult to kill somebody from safety, you know, dive into the behind enemy lines a little bit, finish them off with the ult, because the major source of her damage is her auto-attacks, and while she can kill the Juggernaut very quickly, once she's done with the Juggernaut, or while she's attacking the Juggernaut, she doesn't necessarily have any good responses to enemies teleporting in, which is something of a problem. Thoth is an interesting exception to this rule, where he can start slapping the Juggernaut from a much healthier distance, so besides the fact that his cooldowns are pretty short, so he can actually blow through a Juggernaut pretty consistently from a much safer distance, so that's actually worth mentioning. The Chronos has, of course, whether or not the Chronos can safely take out a Juggernaut really depends on how long it takes him. In the mid-game, I would argue Chronos isn't any better at taking out a Juggernaut than Freya. Yes, he can deal enough damage to kill the Juggernaut very quickly, but at the end of the day, he really hasn't got a lot of responses if a whole bunch of enemies teleport into the Juggernaut while he's doing this. Unless they teleport pretty quickly, in which case he can ult out of there. He can ult rewind time back to before he was attacking the Juggernaut and be perfectly safe. So these are the primary mages that I would describe as being really excellent at clearing the Juggernaut. This is actually why you see a decent amount of duo mage teams in Slash. This is actually wise because some of these are just absolutely fantastic. I actually forgot to mention Poseidon, who probably is the hands-down best response to a Juggernaut ever. There's a couple of reasons for this. First off, he's got the triple auto attack. Actually, I'm going to zoom in on his abilities because I can't remember what any of them are called. He's got the Trident, which is the triple auto attacks, which, first off, is great for attacking Juggernauts. That's 3 auto attacks hitting a Juggernaut, and Juggernauts are big enough where you're actually going to consistently hit the 3 shots. So that's really, really potent. If enemies come through the Juggernaut, they teleport to the Juggernaut, you Whirlpool, and you crack him, right? If they, are pursuing after that, you slap them with a wave, and you're out of there, right? Poseidon is probably hands down one of the best aggressive characters to play in this mode. Again, you can play him ADC, you can play him Mage, it doesn't really matter. He's effective in both ways. If you are playing him auto-attack focused, he is better at taking out the Juggernauts and still does really impressive damage with his abilities. I personally prefer to play Poseidon with auto-attacks. It's a personal preference of mine. I haven't done a lot of practice with that. He's only Mastery 2. But I do intend on getting around to really practicing Die Hard with him. But in my experience, and from what I've seen, he's really one of the best responses to pretty much anything Slash. And again, you can build him like a mage if you're more comfortable that way. You can build him like an ADC if you're more comfortable that way. It's totally up to you. But he is fantastic at eliminating Juggernauts. Hera is only good at responding to Juggernauts if she's got Argus. That's it. If Argus is dead, she should not be anywhere near a Juggernaut unless she's got teammates there. With that being said, that's about all I want to say here. Thank you all very much for joining me on this abnormally long episode. I apologize for its length. That match was much longer than I expected. But thank you all very much for joining me. I hope you found this useful. If you liked this, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, please ignore me. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, ideas, suggestions, or requests, please leave them down in the comment section below. And thank you all very much for joining me, and have a great 24 hours.